I feel like there are so many fun tags popping up recently. Has anyone else noticed more tag videos in their subscription feeds as of late? I feel like I'm obviously putting some more out. Playlist of them all linked up above. I saw this on PS I Love Books channel. I will leave it in the description box. Welcome to my How Do You Read Your Book tag. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week, and then movie reviews or book to movie content here at the weekend. All of my social media links are in the description box below, including my blog and my Goodreads, so you can keep up with my reading, reviewing and watching in between times. As I say, I saw this tag on PS I Love Books channel, Amy's channel. I will leave her original video, her video, in the description box, as well as the original video and the questions if you want to do this tag. If you are already watching this video, consider yourself tagged and let me know in the comments once you have done it, so that I can come and watch and leave you some comment in return. I will also leave Amy's channel linked up above here. Go and subscribe, give her videos some love. She has a very cute dog, so definitely worth watching for Archie, and I love the way she says lovely as well. So question number one, how do you go into reading a book? Well, you might have seen in some of my book hauls or my TBRs, if it is an auto-buy author for me, somebody that I would be picking up their book regardless, I will quite often not know what the synopsis of the book is. However, if it is a library book, or in some cases sort of a new to me author review book, I will read the synopsis before going into it. Then when it comes to picking my book of the month club picks, generally I will read all of the information that book of the month club gives you. So they give you like a little synopsis and then like a little why I love this book and a review section. So there's like lots of different sections you can do, and then they've got like the little symbols of what the book is. Like, is it teary, is it romantic, is it a thriller, are there content warnings? And so when I'm picking that book every month, or books as the case might be, I do read all of that information as well. So it really does depend on what I'm picking up. If I'm in a bookstore and a cover attracts me, I will read the blurb. If I'm in the library and the cover attracts me, I will read the blurb. If I am perusing an audiobook app, I will read the blurb. And I do have a book of the month club like trial link in the description box below if you are interested and you are not already signed up to it. Question number two, do you take a book at face value? I think so, yeah. The book that I read with Bethany that she made a whole rant video talking about, we were so disappointed because the book was marketed as being like a sort of, you know, groundbreaking, this is a fat heroine going on a bachelorette style show, we're going to get some body positivity in here, we're going to get some, you know, decent plus size fashion, she's an influencer and romance, and I kind of feel like, yeah, that really, we thought that that's what it's going to be because that's what it was marketed as, and then it just wasn't that. And then I think Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner as well is being marketed as like, oh, beach read, and you know, obviously, what is a beach read? It's anything that you read while you're at the beach, or anything you read during the summer months, really, isn't it? It's like beach ready bodies. Anybody is a beach ready body. But yeah, her book is being marketed as like, yeah, fluffy romance, switch your brain off beach read, but her books are always so much more than that and have a real message to them. So I think if I'm going into a book for the first time, I definitely do take it as face value. But if I'm going into an author I know will have other things in there, then I know to expect some extras. It's a bit like when I pick up a Lindsay Kelk novel, yeah, the storyline, the premise is going to be there, and it's, you know, going to be based around that. It's a rom-com, so we write happy endings, we expect happy endings as rom-com readers, but she's gonna have things in there that are timely and topical, and you know, so many of her books talk about social media without overtly talking about social media, of the fact that what you see on Instagram isn't necessarily what's going on in the background. And yeah, none of that is like overtly talked about, but it's all in there and her characters are going through it. And so you know, when you pick up a Lindsay Kelk novel, that the characters are going to be going through things that you're going through, and the characters are going to be having thoughts and feelings that you're having, but like deep down, not necessarily those ones that you would broadcast, for example, on the internet. And so if I was going into a Lindsay Kelk novel for the first time, I would read the synopsis and go, oh, okay, we're going to have a love story and it's going to be a bit funny, and you know, there's going to be some japes in there and probably a references to Babe. But going in now, I know there's deeper things, which leads me nicely on to question number 3. Do you read a book as the author intended, or do you peel it back? Because I have been reviewing books since 2011. I started contributing to a blog in 2011, got my own blog in 2012, started this in 2016, and we're now in 2020. I feel like I kind of have picked up on what authors are trying to do in certain places. I've heard enough authors talk at events about the way they write their books and why they included certain things. Depending on the event, depends on the depth that they go into. But I have also had a couple of authors I really admire and respect tell me that I kind of read the book the way they intended it to be read, and I will pick up on certain things that they've put in there that a reader wouldn't necessarily pick up on, but me reading it to write a review of it, I've picked up on things. And I've had authors say, oh, I'm so pleased you mentioned that in your review, or I'm so pleased you didn't mention that in your review because that would have been a spoiler. And so I think because I've been reviewing and talking about books for so long now, I read the book exactly as the author intended, but peel it back in the way that they intended to. And that's not me, like, you know, tooting my own horn, being arrogant. And I do find out that when I do buddy reads with people, we read things very differently and we notice certain different things. And quite often when I'm buddy reading with Hayley, because we're both reviewers, we'll notice different things and character traits. I will pick up on some things because they're more relevant to what's going on in my life, and she will pick up on some things because they're more relevant to what's going on in her life. So I think that, yeah, the more you read, the more you'll notice subtle little things. But yeah, I think that kind of answers that question, and that again links nicely into question number 4. I like these questions, they're interesting, and I hope you are getting to know stuff about me from these questions. Before we go into question 4, leave me a comment, let me know, have you discovered anything new about me as a reader from watching this video? Question number 4 is, as a booktuber / reviewer, because obviously I was a book blogger first and still am a book blogger, blog's in the description, do you read a book differently knowing you're going to review it? I think I do. I think some of the things that I borrow from the library, so my audiobook listening does tend to be listening for pleasure. I've kind of dabbled slightly with review audiobooks. I've done a few, but they tend to be more like my backlist titles, or just something I picked up from the library that I think sounds good. And I do find that I don't pay as much attention to every little detail when I am listening to or reading a book just for pleasure as I do when I'm reading for review. I will also sometimes go ahead and make notes I probably don't make notes as much as a lot of bloggers do or booktubers do. I don't make notes in the book. I don't necessarily make notes on the Kindle. You've seen when I'm reading non-fiction, I tend to tab things, but when it's a fiction book, which is the majority of like the review copies that I get, I'll tend to have my like blog post review already started as a draft, and I'll put some like bullet point notes in there. So for example, when I read A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour by Hank Green, because I was listening to that on audiobook and it was an audio review copy, I had my I put my blog post together and I did make some bullet points for that one, because that was a 15-hour audiobook, so it's quite a lot of listening and it was quite detail heavy, and so I wanted to make sure I was putting in the points there. And then if I'm on the blog tour for reviewing something, I think I'm always extra thorough, because I know it's going to get more eyes on it because it's going to be shared as part of that blog tour. Whereas if I'm just reviewing because I'm putting a review on my blog, I tend to just kind of maybe will make a couple of notes or note some things down, or sometimes I'll like, you know, write a paragraph on my phone as it goes in there. I should definitely do that more, because I'm, you know, always a little bit behind with my blog reviews. When I used to go to the library and have like an afternoon of blogging at the library when it was just like intense reviews, I'd be ahead by a couple of weeks and I'd be absolutely fine. But right now, not so much. But yeah, like I say, let me know in the comments, have you learned anything new about my reading style, my reviewing style, me as a reader, reviewer, blogger from watching this video? If you have watched this, consider yourself tagged. If you have a blog or a booktube channel, do this tag, let me know in the comments and I will come and watch and comment back on your videos. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on my future bookish content. I will be back with more bookish videos for you, or more movie reviews for you very soon. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, but let me know why. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you then.